Hey Saber fans, this is graypaladin, and I have a review of a subscriber sent Saber, and I'll put a card right up here so you can check that out. But this is an F16 hilt from the Custom Saber Shop. I had unboxed this in a previous video from a subscriber, and it was an empty hilt. So as a thank you for the subscriber sending me all these sabers for content on the channel, I had offered to install the lightsaber at a very economical cost. So here's my review of the F16, and then I'll go through the install that's in here as well. So let's start with the dimensions. It has a length of 12 inches from the tip of the, I guess, emitter shroud here to the base of the pommel. There's a little bit of a nub on the end here, and that's 12 inches. It has a diameter of 1.4 inches, and that's coming from the slimmest part of the shroud here. It has a blade depth of 2 inches and a resonance chamber for the speaker of a ½ inch. The speaker is almost right against the end here, and once I crack it open you'll be able to see more of that. This weighs 14 ounces, not very heavy, so it's under 1 pound. Now let's do a close-up here. I want you to really get a look at what's going on with this saber. So since it's F16, it's kind of designed and modeled or inspired by a fighter jet. And you can kind of see that in the pommel. It looks like a jet turbine. Now what's interesting is this came with what I thought was a blade plug, but it's really a capsule for all of the Allen wrench sizes. There's 3 Allen wrenches. It unscrews from the bottom. It looks just like a bullet or missile. So on the inside here, there are 3 sets of Allen wrenches. The largest here is going to be for the inside here. This at the base of the pommel, this piece here, this nub actually comes out, or it can be detached, and you can swap it out with the tip of the bullet here. Of course, that just kind of makes it really pointy and a bit sharp there, so I did not go that route. I kept the flat end of the pommel there. But this wrench can unscrew and tighten that piece there. Then you have the standard blade retention, and then after that, this little tiny one is designed to tighten and loosen the screws for the switch section here. It's kind of a bezel there for the switch and the recharge port. And these will fit handily inside of the bullet capsule. You can use it as a blade plug if you want. However, once you put it inside, since the blade depth is only 2 inches, it sticks out really far, which doesn't really look quite as good. So I avoid it for that reason, or that purpose. The Saber also came with this nice little bag here. On the opposite side has this fun little warning there. Okay. Now, when I was installing this, I found some interesting things here. This kind of brass or gold portion of the hilt, that is the main body of the saber. And the black portion is essentially a shroud that goes over that. Could you use it without the shroud? Yeah, possibly, but it wouldn't look as good, of course. It's designed to be there. But in order to install it, I had to take off this kind of switch bezel here, and then the retention screws for the, I did NeoPixel for this, so for the PCB adapter, it's hidden behind this the shroud there. And then you've got the blade holder up here, which has a nice little curve or choke in there. I would say that the edge of the shroud here, it's not very sharp. It's rounded really well, but I mean, of course, if you stabbed into something, that's going to hurt. You've got these kind of rings going around and vertically and horizontally. I'd say it's a relatively comfortable saber. once your hand is around there. And there's a bit of a choke here. The pommel is really this piece right here with this brass ring, which is removable. You can take that off. And then you've got this choke portion at the base of the body, which also can be removed. Okay. Now, I installed this with a Verso soundboard. It's the original version 1.0, but it's I updated it with the version 2.0 firmware. Really nice, clean install. The board is here, nice snug fit. I ordered this chassis from Etsy at CWSxDesigns, and it's designed to hold the Verso board, so it's a nice snug fit. Same thing with the speaker. This is a 24mm Smuggler Outpost Elite speaker, and that snugly fits as well. So I didn't have to glue any of this stuff or hold it down at all. It's all press fit, very nice. And then I used a TrustFire 18650 3.7 volt lithium ion battery, and it's removable, so you can pull this out if you want to put it into a charger or use a different battery. This is only 2400 mAh, so if Sean, who is the owner of this Saber, if he wants to get a slightly stronger battery, he can do that as well. And then since here, the SD card it's accessible, but it's you have to flip the board up to get to it. So you can really just take your finger and then put it in the SD card there, lift up the board, press, and then out comes the SD card. And as you can see, the board's flipped up there. And then once you're all done with your configurations or additions, just insert it back in and press the board back down. It fits nice and snug there. And then I like to push it up to the battery, and then the pommel section and the choke can reattach. I enjoyed working on this Saber. It was, with the chassis being as nice as it is and me having most of the parts, it actually was a relatively painless installation. I went with a 12mm white illuminated AV switch, and then I liked using this this black 2.1mm recharge port, so it really has a nice aesthetic look blended in there, especially once you take the kill key out. Like I said before, it is NeoPixel. It's probably going to be difficult to see because it's dark in there, but it's the 7-pin custom Saber Shop PCB connector. Insert my little stubby blade. There's one retention screw right here at the top of the shroud. And I just pull the kill key. There's the illuminated AV switch, and one press and we're active. I have to say, though it's a 24mm speaker, which I usually find are not that strong or loud, but this one is actually quite good. It's Smuggler Outpost Elite, and since it's kind of close to the pommel's venting it really well, so the volume is quite nice on this. It's a one button setup, so one press for blaster deflection. And then you have your clash. For lockup, press and hold and do a clash. And just release the button to disengage. There's no force effects on this. It's an entry-level board, classified as that. But it does have firm updates, so I'm sure Cal, the creator of the Verso board, is going to have more for us in the future. On the initial release, it only held one sound font. It had no effects, no blaster, none of that stuff. And with beta and other firmware updates, we now have multiple sound fonts and effects like lockup and the blaster deflection. And then with the color change, you just double tap and you can change the colors. If you want to cycle through the sound fonts, just press and hold. There's my mute, sorry. So once you hear that sound, it's mute, but all the other effects and things are there, you just can't hear anything. And then to disengage the mute, just press and hold again until you hear that sound. Double tap to change fonts. And this is a fire sound font with a fire blade. And this one's really cool. So let's do a wide shot and check out full-length blade and some more of these features in action. Okay, so here's the hilt with a 32-inch blade. Flashes, blaster deflect, and lockup. The lockup is randomized. It's a setting. You can adjust that if you want. The width, it can be the same spot. It could be a flicker of the entire blade, but I liked this setting. I thought it worked out pretty well. As far as colors go, just double tap. And you just rotate the saber. You can select the colors that you want. Once you're at what you'd like, just press and hold. And then you can choose the blade deflect. There's a flicker. It's kind of a little bit of a fire pulse. Another bit of a pulse there. And once you're at what you like, just press and hold again. Everything's locked in. Change sound fonts, just a double tap when the saber's off. The default comes with 4 fonts. Verso default, light, dark, and then the fire. And here's the fire blade, which I think is really cool. And the font itself sounds very good as well. So that's the F16 full blade demo. So overall, this was my first time getting my hands on a saber like this, and I think it's a really good looking hilt. It comes in different colors, but I think the black and gold are the most attractive. It handles really well. It's not heavy, it's not too light. You think the shroud and all these grips here might feel funny, but once it's in your hand, it actually feels quite good. It's just very sturdy, and this kind of choke down here above the pommel feels really good for a second-handed grip. But your hand grip's going to be pretty close if you put the choke in your small finger, so I like to hold it more so with my thumb, and so that way my grip is down there like that, and that feels a bit better for a two-handed grip. So there we have it. I hope that Sean's going to be very happy and pleased with this lightsaber and the install, and I'm very pleased and happy to do it for him, and supporting my subscribers if they have supported me on this channel. So thank you very much for watching, and may the Force be with you.